What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and we are here to talk about, finally, my MCU series of reviews, the big one. The one that made Marvel really shine the most. The one that a lot of people, including myself, did not think was possible, did not think we would ever see it. In my lifetime, I thought I would never see an Avengers movie because I just thought it was too much. It was too many superheroes, it was too much lore, too much of just so much to cram into a film and make that they would have to make so many movies and so many things leading up to this. I didn't think it would ever be possible to see this team up. The closest thing we got to the Avengers before this was the X-Men. It wasn't as crazy or as big as the Avengers. Well, technically it is bigger than the Avengers, but you know what I mean. It wasn't as like, holy crap, this is actually on film like this one was. But the X-Men was pretty much the only thing closest that I got to doing to like an Avengers style team up movie. So when I was walking into this film, I was very nervous. I was like, oh man, I was excited and I was hyped, but I was also like, I hope they get this right. They could very easily mess this up. If they mess it up, ooh, the MCU would have definitely suffered. But as we all know, this movie did not fail in any way. This movie was such a success, such a just amazing experience being the first Avengers film. This was such an intoxicating feeling when I walked into the theater, when the credits started rolling. Just from the opening scene, it got you hyped, you were ready. Opening scene with Loki stealing the cube, gaining his power, taking control of Hawkeye, it drew you right into it. It didn't wait, it just said you already had all these movies that were setting up for this event. We're just gonna throw it at you and make you experience it right now, get thrusted into this world. Here you go, boom, we are not holding back. And speaking of Loki was great in Thor, but in this movie they really elevated his character even more and made him a truly amazing villain. He was charismatic in some ways, you liked him, but then he was also an evil, just bad guy. You just couldn't help but love him, but hate him at the same time. But in another way, you could also understand why he started doing this. He was a character that was very developed and someone that we could all sit there and go, I understand why he's doing it, he shouldn't be doing it, but I understand his character. Another thing, Joss Whedon with this film did a great job of giving everyone screen time. It didn't feel like anyone really got thrown to the side. Maybe Hawkeye, but I could understand why he did that because he was under mind control for most of this movie, so I could understand why he didn't have too many moments to shine, but he did have some moments. He had that moment where they were on the the like giant strip that they were on, and he like shoots his arrow, uses the wind to hit one of the propellers on it, and it causes, you know, that whole incident where the aircraft is about to fall and crash and stuff like that. That was awesome. I thought that really utilized the way Hawkeye is and just how talented of an archer he is. I thought that was really awesome. And also the fight between him and Black Widow, fantastic. The choreography, the way it looked, the way it was filmed was beautiful. I loved that. The way this movie was filmed in general was absolutely amazing. So many great shots, so many great moments that he was able to really capture just with the way he had filmed every scene, especially that very famous moment in the movie where they're all in New York, all the Avengers are right there next to each other, the camera spins around them 360 style, and you see all of them getting ready to fight. It was a great moment. The way this movie was filmed was beautiful. But anyway, back to my point where I was saying that every character got a good amount of screen time. Every character did. And also, we really didn't need them to have a crap ton of screen time because prior to this, all these movies had come out setting up these characters, their personalities, the way they believe, the way they fought, the way they are. So really, this movie could just focus on the sole purpose of trying to stop Loki without having to sit there and be like, let's develop this character, let's develop this character, they didn't have to do that. They developed the characters, don't get me wrong, but they didn't need to sit there and focus on every single one for a long time because we had already sat there and had time with Thor, had time with Iron Man, had time with Captain America, had time with Black Widow. We had a connection with these characters already, which is why this movie felt so special. The only one that we kind of had to get used to was Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, since he replaced Edward Norton. And even then, we knew his type of character just from the way they were portraying him. And if you saw that movie, they kind of kept him in the same vein of the way the character was in that movie. They just changed the actor. And it was amazing. I like the way they did the Hulk in this movie as well. They changed the design of him when he transformed. He isn't as big as he was in the Incredible Hulk. He's more like comic book Hulk. He isn't as big as he was in that last movie, but he is still intimidating, strong, and awesome. I loved it. Seeing the Hulk transform when they were on the SHIELD aircraft carrier was awesome. A great scene where Black Widow's trying to run away, and then you have Thor and him getting into it, and then when the Hulk tries to lift the hammer, fantastic. I was like, that is really cool. Really awesome moment, which is why I'm also excited for Thor Ragnarok, but that's a side note. But also, when we finally got into the big battles in the city, it really just took off from there. It just said, action, action, action. Let's just show the Avengers trying to save the world. Let's finally show them using everything they could, no hold bars, just go nuts. And it was awesome. Every Avenger had a cool action moment during that battle, and it was emotional, it was intense, and right at the end, there's going to be spoilers in this movie, but I'm assuming we've all seen this movie at this point. But, especially at the end, when Iron Man decides to go, you know what, I'm going to do kind of the ultimate sacrifice, at least we thought at the time, quote unquote, we thought that he was going to, die. He flies up into the spaceport and it's letting all the Chitauri warriors in here, and he goes, boom, blows it all up, sky high. It was awesome. A very great moment. The special effects in this movie were also fantastic. Everything about this movie was damn perfect. Especially the thing that brought them all together. As we know in this movie, they didn't kind of get along, the Avengers in this film, because of the fact that they were all just so different. Iron Man was kind of still, well, he always is, a cocky kind of dickhead. And Thor is very, he has one goal and he's going to do it. And the thing that brought them all together in this movie is what Joss Whedon is very good at, is making death scenes. As you know, Phil Coulson in this movie was stabbed and it brought them all together. And they all said, you know what, we got to do this. He would want us to fight and band together and take down this foe. And they did. So that's just me gawking at this movie. Guys, at the end of the day, Joss Whedon's The Avengers was a fantastic movie. Great characters, great build-up with all the other films. It felt natural. It just drew you straight into it after knowing that the audience knew who these characters were. It did not treat us like we were dumb. It just said, you know what, you've seen those movies. This is what it was leading up to. Let's just go. Let's just go crazy. And that's what this movie did. This movie succeeded in every way I wanted it to. So guys, at the end of the day, The Avengers gets a solid A+ from me, guys. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if I was going a little bit all over the place with this review, but it's just that I'm trying to think of things that maybe not all reviews have been saying, because this movie has been out for a while. I'm sure tons of reviews are out there, so I just wanted to really say my part of it and just get my review out there so you knew what I thought. It was just hard to not make this review sound like what every other person says about this movie, but either way, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. My next movie review is going to be Dark Tower, and I figured out what my next game review is going to be. Lawbreakers is going to be my next one. I played the beta to that. I thought that was really cool. I'm excited to play it when it comes out and give you guys my thoughts on it. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.